So like I said, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. It's going to be a quick, well, just over 25-minute run through about next steps for the awards, particularly for those who are new to the awards this year. Really want to make sure that you've got all the information. Like I said, please put it in the chat if you haven't. If you've got any questions, put it in the chat and I'll keep an eye on that, and we'll try and answer any questions or email it to you. And just really wanted to say thank you so much for all of you coming together, working with us on this. We've just got some amazing businesses here which are listed on their logos are on here, and we're really proud to be working with you on this. It's so important that we work collaboratively together, and I know that your time is precious, but we really do value it, and we do want to celebrate apprenticeships together because they are fantastic. But we do need to get more businesses and more young people aware of them, and to really try and raise the numbers and actually just embrace what they bring and what the opportunities are for young people. So next slide, please, Mel. So the awards timeline, and you can see we've got a lovely heart this time. We've actually, just to kind of give you a bit of a kind of timeline as to what to expect. So we've kicked off, as you're aware, nominations are now open on the 14th of Feb. And so we've put Valentine's Day with a little heart, that's when the closing date is going to be for all of the nominations. And then finalists will be announced. Mel's going to be doing that via the OA Twitter Hour hashtag on the 14th of April. And then the 19th of May at 7 o'clock will be the actual virtual live stream ceremony. So that's George and the team taking that on. And then we are still TBC for the drinks reception. We're just TBC just because we're still waiting to hear regarding with the venue. So we've been trying to engage with Williams F1. We're just waiting to see if they can host us. If not, we will look at another venue, but we're still aiming to go ahead with that. So please put that date in your calendars. So 14th of Feb, though, is the kind of key time. So great news is entries are starting to come in, a bit slow. We always have kind of the last week, and certainly the last day is when everybody seems to submit them. So it's a bit, we just kind of hold our breath a little bit, and then suddenly we can relax when we get those nominations in. We do need a minimum of 3 nominations per category. So we really want to encourage you to promote the awards, promote your involvement, talk to your supply chain, anybody, businesses, HR professionals, anybody that you know who are involved in apprenticeships, to really encourage that participation. We really do actively ask you to do that as is part of this collaboration together. Sponsors are thanked via social media, so I know that we've actually subcontracted this work out. We've got Push Start Marketing working with Mel to actually try and get the messaging out. So we're really invested in that financially, and also with Mel's time and Sophie's time in getting the information out. So hopefully you're seeing that on all the various social media platforms that's been happening, and we've been really promoting the ease of applying, of nominating, and we've also got some fantastic stats there about the vlogs that we've delivered, and also how we are now actually on TikTok, which I think is really cool. So I'm very proud of that. Mel and the team do a brilliant job and really kind of keeping that, and it is for us actually just a whole year-round exercise in keeping the awards. We don't really have it's kind of like as soon as the awards are over, we start back up again, and it's something that, you know, is so as for us as a LEP is incredibly important, and that's why we are just continually trying to promote apprenticeships and vocational career pathways for young people. Thanks, Mel. So some key comms and milestones. Mel, is that your slide or is it mine?
I can do that one if that's all right.
Perfect, yeah.
As I'm sure you're all aware, National Apprenticeship Week is coming up very soon, from the 7th to the 13th of February. We decided to keep the awards open during that week because it's a really good opportunity to give it a final push for some last minute entries during the week. So I'm sure lots of you will be doing comms and promotion around your own activities and apprenticeships during that time. But if you could give the awards a mention as well, that would be fantastic, and we'll really encourage people to enter. As Sally said, it's Valentine's Day we close, and there's a bit of a We Love Apprenticeships theme going on during National Apprenticeship Week as well, so we'll be capitalising on that and using the the opportunity to promote the awards. So the finalists, as Sally said, will be announced on the 13th of April. So again, that's another opportunity for you to shout out about the amazing finalist in your category if you're a category sponsor, promote your involvement if you're a supporter, and just to join in that kind of social media sort of activity around that time. You usually get quite a lot of interest then, because everybody's excited about finding out who the finalists are and shouting about the fact they are a finalist. So that's a really good one, and we get a lot of engagement for social media on that day. So we'll keep you posted and make sure you're involved in that. And then yes, the ceremony itself and the drinks reception will follow. So again, we'll be opportunity to share involvement, share photos, share celebrations about the winners. So those are our key comms milestones. So again, if you could keep a note of those in your diary, we'll obviously keep in touch with you, but make sure you either join in yourself or let your comms and social media teams know to take part in that activity. It's a good opportunity for you to make the most of your involvement. So shall I do this one as well, Sally, or you do that one?
I'm happy to do that one,
Yes.
Mel. So really up to the 14th of Feb, really what you could be doing now is enter or nominate, or encouraging organisations, even yourself if you're not category sponsors, to nominate colleagues from training providers. That's one of our new categories, so we really want to celebrate those training providers that get some attention, some absolutely fantastic work that's been happening. We really want to try to shine a spotlight on the people that are also professionals working in this industry and supporting young talent. Please use your networks, like I said, your supply chain, encourage other employers, apprentices, any articles. Just, we really want to try and just really create, I think, such a kind of level of interest. It's almost you can't get away from it, which in a good way, because actually it's something we think is incredibly positive, and it recognises, and we can see the difference it makes to businesses and actually those who have been nominated, not necessarily the finalists, although it's fantastic, but actually for all young people, just to have that nomination is great. We've got the hashtag, which is hashtag OA Awards 2022, follow and tag at Oxlep Skills, and then we can share all of your posts and the Oxford Apprenticeship on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. You have got a comms pack. If you've lost it or you can't find it, or you need any support, please give us a shout and we can send that out to you again. Thanks, Mel. So from the 15th of Feb to the 19th of May, once you please use your networks to kind of join in with the finalist announcements, celebrate and congratulate the finalists, and encourage those, anybody that you feel would be interested to come and watch the live broadcast event, which is the 19th of May, and join us on the night, of course, and then also on the drinks reception on the 26th, where we'll have photographers there, and again we'll be sharing information about the finalists and also the trophies. Thanks, Mel.
Okay, so one other thing we'll ask of you is we create a brochure for the awards. So obviously when we have a physical event, we can make that available in person. We also make it available online as a download so that everybody can read about the finalists and about the sponsors. So I will be drafting a profile for each of you based on the information that you've already sent me for your profile, which is on our website now. And I'll send that to you so that you can check it and make sure you're happy with the information about your organisation ready to include in the brochure. I'll be doing that fairly soon, and I'd ask if you could possibly return it to me by the 4th of March, please. That gives us time to then get the brochure designed, created and printed. So you'll be seeing that coming through fairly soon. Obviously, we can't do the bit about the finalists. You can see there the finalists, 3 finalists are listed as well, because we don't know who they are yet. But at least if we can get your sponsor profiles and photographs and logos prepared and ready to go, that helps us get all that right way in advance. So watch out for that coming soon. On a bit more about the process for the category sponsors. So for all of you, whether you're a category sponsor or not, you'll be receiving that, and you will have a feature in our brochure. If you're a category sponsor, we did touch on this last time, but just to remind you that you will then, once the closing date comes on the 14th of February, receive your entries for your category. You will get some judging paperwork. That's a set of forms for you to use to fill in for your judging decisions, and also a meeting or visit form where you can use when you actually speak to any entries that you've shortlisted. So that will all come through to you. And again, keep in touch, give us a shout if you have any questions when that does arrive. But we provide you with that to try and help guide you through the process and make it as easy as possible for you, and also keep that consistency among sponsors using the same criteria, the same form and the same scoring system. Gives us then a bit like an interview, I guess, a way that we can explain the choices and justify those if we should ever need to. So you've got up until the 25th of March, once you get your forms, to do your shortlisting and decision making. We kind of leave that in your hands to a large extent, because they're your categories, they're your decisions about who you want to take through. We would give you a couple of instructions, I guess, which one of them is where you shortlist your entrants. We really would ask that you meet them in some way, whether that's a phone call, a Teams meeting, or if you're lucky enough to get a face-to-face meeting with them, just so that you have an opportunity to put a name to a face, find out anything that they didn't include in the form that might influence your decision one way or another. Not everybody, employers, training providers, careers leaders and apprentices, are as good as others at filling in the form, and you may really want to get to know somebody a little bit to help you with that judging. So you don't have to visit everybody. Some people you can probably long list and then shortlist, but if you can have a conversation of some kind with them, that would be great. Also, just to stress that we do need your decision by the 25th of March. We'll be asking you for a winner, 2 highly commended and a reserve, just in case something happens with one of the others. The reason we need that is because we can't then create the brochure or the trophies and certificates and things until we have the names. So there's a lot of quite last minute work that has to happen once we know who your finalists are. So if we could kindly ask you to stick to that time scale, that would be absolutely brilliant. And again, if you're worried, if you've got a big category, if you're worrying about time, give us a shout. We can support you through the process and we can help you, but we do need that information by then. We're also going to ask category sponsors to have a conversation with Chloe, who's our representative from our headline sponsor, once that decision's been made. Chloe, as the headline sponsor, and her the Fiona Wheeler Trust are responsible for choosing the overall winner of the apprentice categories, and Sarah, I think, is here today from High Spec Composites, suggested very helpfully that it would be useful to hear a bit about those winners from you. So this is the apprentice winners, not everybody, just to find out what it was about those apprentices that stood out to help with that overall decision. So again, we'll be in touch to arrange those conversations. And then on the 5th of April, the awards committee, thanks again to committee members who are here today for your ongoing support with this process, will meet to ratify the decisions and including the overall apprentice of the year, at which point we will then have those set in stone ahead of that announcement on the 14th, where we're going to be telling everybody who those finalists are. We will also use the time between the 5th and the 14th to let those that weren't successful know, so that they're aware that they didn't make it through to the final before those announcements start to come out publicly. So there's a bit of communication that goes on behind the scenes with our entrants to make sure everybody knows what the situation is before those public announcements come out. A new date or new 2 dates for your diaries for category sponsors. We're going to be handing over to George in a second, but the 6th and 7th of April are going to be dates for filming. So we will be creating a professional film of you making those announcements about your finalists and winner. And we've got 2 dates there, so please keep those dates free, and hopefully you can make one of those so that we can get you into the studio and film you announcing. That gives takes away the pressure of trying to hook up live, and it also gives you an opportunity to get your message right, so that on the night you don't have to worry about that and you're happy with that and the branding and everything. Is that okay for everybody so far on the timelines, and particularly for category sponsors?
Yeah, I can't see anything in the chat there, Mel.
Good. Okay, hopefully that's all clear then. But again, you know where we are if you need us as this process starts to unfold. That's just an example of the form there that you will receive for the judging process. So some criteria to score your entrance against, a scoring criteria, and a meeting form for you to jot down any notes and additional evidence that you want to take into account when you make your decision. So those are the forms that you'll receive through for category sponsors. Okay, I think we're going to hand over. Sally, I don't know if you wanted to just quickly introduce Oxford Media Factory, and then we'll hand over to George.
I can do that.
Yeah, as George is here, we let George do it.
George, I'm delighted. Thank you so much for joining us. So Oxford Media Factory, we worked with last year in doing what was a unique, given the circumstances with COVID and lockdown, and we couldn't have any face-to-face events. So we were really kind of pushing the boundaries. The year before we just did a film, and this is actually a real blend of virtual and live. And so if you've seen the kind of highlights film, you'll see what it looked like. But it's been an absolute pleasure working with the team, and we really look forward to working with them for this year. So George, I'll hand over. So George is really going to give us an outline of, just to know for what to expect on that filming, what to get ready for, and so give you a bit of a kind of background of the actual filming itself.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks
George,
so much.
I'll stop sharing and let you take over if that's okay.
Yeah, okay. Let me just bring that up then. Okay. Let's have a look. Can everyone see that okay, or did you want me to go full screen, or is that okay?
Probably go full screen, I think, George, if that's okay.
Is that better?
There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Cool. Okay. Well, so Sally mentioned the highlights video. I think I was going to share it, but I think if you guys have got the link for that, that's really important to watch to understand the context a bit of what's being produced. Obviously, some of you were there last year, so you kind of understand. But to see these recordings, the sponsor videos mixed in with the rest of the stream and things like that helps to kind of build a bigger picture. But that's myself there and the team. There's a couple missing from that photo, but there we are in the studio that we kind of put together, or jerry-rigged together. We had quite a small space, and I think that's where I'll start talking a little bit about the location. This took place last year. The filming and the sponsor messages also in this environment, as well as the actual the live show itself. We filmed in the same spot, but I think that's going to be in a different location this year. That location is undecided. Is that right, guys? Yeah, I think it is. But we'll have kind of slots for everyone to turn up, and we'll provide, I think, a guide close to the time with the kind of the time slots and what to expect in the location itself as well. So we'll be looking to film again against green screen. So yeah, we'll have the hour slot to go through your scripts. We'll have 2 cameras, we'll have the teleprompter, so don't worry too much about trying to memorize the script, but please do get as comfortable as possible with it and read it through as much as possible. We can workshop it a little bit if things aren't quite working for you, but try to get comfortable with that script, because you'll have the teleprompter there to read from anyway. So with the green screen, it's definitely the dress code is really important.
George, sorry, could I just interrupt you here? I don't know about everybody else, but I'm seeing two slides together. Am I reading this?
Yeah, I think it's just the way the PDF has been shared.
Okay, it's just sure. I can't see the whole screen. Mel, I don't know if you're seeing that, because
oh, here we go. Is that any better?
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
that's
better.
better.
Thank
Okay,
you. That's
sorry,
fine
guys.
because I couldn't see
Okay.
some of the text. Thanks.
Did you miss anything then from the slides?
No, I think we're okay. Next slide. I think we're on to perfect. That's lovely.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So the script guide will be built something like this. Sorry, the script itself will be built like this. You kind of have your introduction, your role and who you work for, and then you kind of go into the brief overview about yourself and the organization, and you know the importance of this event and what's happening. In terms of, you know, your tonality and how you come across, it's really important. We want to capture your kind of passion for this, and that's going to be key to come across for sure. You're going to provide you know, comments on the award winners and the entrants, and the sort of judging process and how that went ahead. And it's going to be difficult to judge, right? They're all going to be really good. So again, that kind of is going to be scripted, but we want to try and capture the sincerity of it all, and the realness of it all as well. This being a kind of live event, we want to capture as much as possible to drive it home to the audience watching at home or online and things like that. Then you'll kind of introduce your finalists, and because it's on green screen, we have this ability to animate things around you and kind of move you around, maybe make you smaller in the bottom left corner while we bring the names on and things like that. So that's what you'll do for that. You'll introduce a finalist with a brief comment about each person, and then we'll announce the winner, and why you chose them, again with that kind of animation coming into it, and then you kind of congratulate the winner and commend them. So that's kind of a bit about the running order, I think, of the script. The dress code for the green screen is really important. As you probably know, please do avoid the color green or any shade of green. We don't want any disappearing torsos or trousers or whatever. Another thing's less important, but still important, but detailed patterns, check shirts, stripes, things like that. Please do avoid those because they can sort of bring up an unwanted effect called moire, which we don't want. It doesn't look very nice. So yeah, tight patterns and check shirts, please do avoid. Really sort of baggy scarves around this area, please avoid those. Anything that kind of can rustle and make a noise. Again, the same with large pieces of jewelry, necklaces and earrings and things like that. I mean, the glasses thing, if you have to wear glasses and you don't wear light contact lenses, then wearing glasses is okay. If you're able to take the glasses off for the recording, then that will be easier for us as well and for post-production. I think that's all I have on the slides, but I've just got a couple of the notes I wanted to bring up. I think I have to stop sharing my screen for that. Is that okay? Let's just, how do I get out of this?
That's good. We can't see you as well. I don't know if you know that.
No. I mean, has it gone off because?
Don't know.
Let's have a look. Can you see me now? Let's just bring the notes up.
There you are. Okay, perfect.
Okay. I think the only other thing I wanted to mention was there's a kind of, we want to introduce a buzz line, a sort of a line at the end of the script. Maybe it's thank you all for watching. Maybe it's thank you for watching, see you next year. That we're going to try and get everybody to record the same, and then that will kind of create a piece in itself to close the live stream off. And then I think that's everything really. I haven't really explained too much about, you know, the recording of your guys' messages is going to be creating the kind of bulk of the show, that the VTs we would call it, and that's where we're going to sort of transition from the VTs or the recordings to the live sections and in and out. Just a bit of context there. I hope I've covered all of the bits and sort of provided enough information. Is there anything else you want me to share, guys?
I think, George, I think we managed to ask you to do some photographs of us when we were doing a green screen, which was great. So and those were really helpful. So I think if we do them again, I don't think that caused a problem. but it's just been useful. So if anybody wants to have some pictures, you'll get some photos that you can include on your kind of social media, or your corporate social responsibility as part of the getting involved, which is quite nice to have. So I think I've got mine on my kind of Teams profile. I've just used it, and LinkedIn and all that kind of stuff. So that's really useful, just having some pictures. So we're very conscious to make sure that you get what you need to kind of promote, and obviously to showcase your involvement. So if there's anything that we haven't included that you'd like, please let us know, and we can certainly look at that. But we will also, obviously, at the drinks reception is do more photographs as well, so we're going to get a professional photographer to take some photographs, so you can fully access all the kind of materials that you need. But I think that's it, George. I mean, certainly I was really nervous and apprehensive about getting it done. I'm not somebody that particularly likes being in front of camera, but George and the team made it really easy, and I just did a couple of takes, and it was really good. And it was nice to be able to, not having doing it live, there was no pressure, and you can get it right, and you can we kind of tweaked the script a little bit and made it really an easy process. So if you are apprehensive, please don't be. It's actually, I can honestly guarantee it's actually a really painless process, and it's really good to do. So
thanks, Sally. I think overall we're gonna, it's going to be a fun session. It's going to be good fun, and that's the aim of the game.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, George. Thanks for doing that.
No worries.
Just to add as well, George prepares some very useful handouts in advance as well, which we will send you, so you don't need to remember all the things that we've told you today. And also things like what to include in your script. We'll send you a sort of template for that as well, so that you know what it is you need to prepare in advance. But this is just to really give you a heads up as to what to expect and what you're going to be asked to do. So hopefully that's helped. And thank you, George, for coming on. And it's nice to put a name to a face for those that are going to meet you and see you again. For those
I'm looking forward to meeting everyone. I really am. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Great stuff. And I think we're just about at the end of our half an hour now. So I've just popped a little link in the chat, which is a very short survey. We would really like it if you could possibly please fill that in. We'd like to try and make sure that we're giving you everything you need as sponsors, and if these briefings are useful, if you'd like more of them. So if you could just take a couple of minutes to fill that in and give us your thoughts, that would be really helpful, and see whether you'd like to come together again to hear the latest updates on the awards and so on. So thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, I think, Dawn, did you put your hand up? Was there anything you'd like to ask?
Yeah, just a quick question. As you're getting nominees in, will you let us all know, so we're not looking at those ones again, or we can actually look at alternatives for the nominees in the sections you're getting in?
Yeah, we will send them all to you when we get them all in. So yeah, once we receive them all, we'll send you a batch rather than doing it bit by bit. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Dawn.
Any other questions before we sign off? But again, like I said, we are, you've got our details. If you've got any questions, not sure, please just reach out. And if you're able to, we've only just put 5 questions on that survey, so I know we will get surveyed out. It's just we want to ensure that you're getting the information. I know it's quite a process, it's quite a difficult process sometimes. Just want to make sure that we're giving you the information that you need in a way that you need it. Anything that we need to be doing in order to support you, we want to make sure that that's all, we're doing that for you. So we really appreciate your time that you've for this session, and we are very happy if you would like us to do another session just before the 14th of Feb, Valentine's Day, when the nominations are in. If there's anything you'd like to cover off, please let us know, and we're very happy to put it on. So again, just give us a shout. So on that, any more questions, please put it in the chat. Otherwise, just want to say thank you for coming along, and have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Good to see you all. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.